Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know who this is. This is Ron the freaking Don. Now, today, I want to talk about a nice, juicy headline about the latest news about Trump bombing Iran and their nuclear sites, destroying their capabilities of building a nuclear weapon, right? And this has the media in a frenzy, talking about Trump violated the Constitution, Democrats saying that he should be impeached and everything. But where was all the outcry when Biden and Obama was doing it? When Obama and Biden issued executive orders to bomb Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan, Libya, Yemen, and several other countries in the Middle East. Where was all the outcry about that? But anyway, it's all politics written all over it. And Trump is a Republican, so of course they're going to have an issue with that. But anyway, on the political front, this could be a victory for Trump. And I want to speak about it from both sides here. About people are concerned that it could lead to World War III. However, politically, this could be a victory for Trump. Why? Because throughout for decades, right, the numerous presidents, along with presidential candidates, have been saying that Iran is building a nuclear weapon. We have to stop Iran from building a nuclear weapon, how they have capabilities of building a nuclear weapon, or how they have 60% enriched uranium to build a nuclear weapon. They've been speaking about this for decades, since the Carter administration and maybe before that. However, Trump actually had the balls and the goal to bomb the nuclear sites. So Trump potentially took away the ability to build a nuclear weapon, something that happens to be a threat to the U.S. Not saying that I agree with it. However, politically, I respect it, though, because he has the balls to actually do it. He's the only president to actually destroy Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon. So politically, this is a victory for Trump. And on top of that, recent news earlier today, has stated that Iran and Israel is in the ceasefire. That Trump convinced them to participate in a ceasefire, which is an agreement to stop all the activity, all the war activity, the bombing activity of war. So this is a victory. This could potentially be a victory for Trump. However, if Iran decides to go to war with the U.S., which I seriously highly doubt, because of the fact that Trump administration destroyed their capabilities of building a nuclear weapon. So now Iran's back is against the wall. And like I said, they're now in a ceasefire deal with Israel. So basically, this is a victory for Trump. Rather you like it or not, I'm looking at it from a political sense. And on top of that, Iran attempted to launch a missile at a U.S. base in Qatar, and it came up short. And Trump said that it was that they were notified about it before. That the U.S. was notified about it before, and it failed. It didn't make any noise. So what that tell you? And on top of that, Iran don't want no smoke with the U.S. Why do I say that? Because Trump, during his first administration, he killed their top general, Soleimani, and everybody was a lot of fear mongering about World War III till that Trump started a war with Iran during his first administration. But what happened after he killed Soleimani? What happened after that? Iran didn't have the balls to go up against the U.S. and they don't got the balls to go up against the U.S. now. So like I said, if you're participating in a ceasefire deal with Israel, a country that Iran and Israel has been going back and forth with, if you're going to participate in a ceasefire with Israel, going back and forth with Israel throughout the past couple weeks, is nothing but back and forth between Iran and Israel launching attacks. Iran had attacks on Israel from last year, 2024. Even with Palestine and Israel, and back in October 7th of 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel in October 7th. Hamas is funded by Iran, and so is the Hezbollah. They funded by Iran as well. Two groups going up against Israel or Palestine, Gaza, and the West Bank. These groups are funded by Iran. So Iran, Israel, been a whole lot back and forth. And Iran last year attacked Israel 2024 on numerous fronts in Lebanon, Tel Aviv, and they launched an attack recently, like last week, against Israel. So it's a whole bunch of back and forth between Israel and Iran, and Trump was able to convince them to participate in a ceasefire deal. So, yeah. So that'll be it. Everybody was fear mongering about World War III and everything. I understand everyone's concerns, but politically, Iran just don't got the capabilities. He definitely no longer has the nuclear capabilities to go up against the U.S. And Trump is the only U.S. president to destroy Iran in this manner. Trump is the only U.S. president to put Iran's back against the wall. So politically, I respect it. Although I don't agree with it, because I have the same concerns as everyone else that it could lead to war and intensify relations with the U.S. with the Muslim community. However, we can't ignore the threat of Islamic terrorism as well. So I understand everyone's concerns, but again, Iran politically or economically is too weak to go up against the U.S. And on top of that, economically, if everybody's concerned about the Strait of Hormuz, which carries 20% of the world's oil supply, everyone's concerned that they could create a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. But economically, that will hurt China and Russia, two countries that Iran has partnerships and trade deals with. So and along with other countries in the Eastern Hemisphere. So economically, that will hurt them more than it will hurt the U.S. So Iran politically and economically just is not strong enough to be able to go up against the U.S. and Trump knows that. Trump is smarter than a lot than he gets credit for. So he knew what he was doing, and he was able to bring Iran to the table to initiate a deal with Israel. And they're now currently in a ceasefire deal, which is now a victory for Trump. Now, that'll be all I have for this video. I will catch y'all in my next video. You like this video, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Catch y'all next time. Peace.